what we are going to do in this SAP FICO module. So let me just walk you through this. Then I will also walk you through the SAP interface, how it looks like, how the software works. Yes, we'll do this thing one by one. So let's start with the introduction. In this presentation or PPT, we are going to discuss what is SAP, why we need SAP, why SAP is preferred over the other ERPs available in the market, and eligibility for SAP course, functional and technical modules available in the SAP, roles and responsibility of a consultant and a end user, and we follow a methodology in SAP called ASAP methodology. What is that ASAP methodology? We'll learn about it, and what is the R3 architecture. So first of all, what do you mean by the SAP? SAP stands for Systems, Application and Product in the Data Processing. So this is a company founded by 5 IBM employees, and it's a German company. It's been into the market since 1972. It's a leading ERP software. When we are saying ERP software, so ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and enterprise means company. Resources means in that company we will have the man material machine. So how we need to plan those man material machine so that we can get the maximum efficiency, we can get the maximum productivity, we can easily we will be able to reduce the cost, we will be able to reduce the leakages. So that is the purpose of every ERP, and client or companies who want to set up this software in their company. So the purpose behind that particular setup is to to let the work done through these resources efficiently. So there are so many ERPs available in the market. Like we have Oracle, we have Barn software, we have Microsoft Dynamic, Tally, and like you just said, QuickBooks. So that is also available. But why SAP is preferred? So that we are going to see in the next slide. Then it's a enterprise level software platform which is used to manage the operations and processes. So processes we have in any of the company, we have different department. It could be sales, inventory, it could be finance. In these department, we follow the process to, and process is a kind of activity to, like, it is a kind of steps to complete any of the activity. We have this about this SAP. It is saying that the companies can automate their financials, supply chain, manufacturing, sales. So these are the different areas they can automate their processes in order to reduce the cost and increase the margin or increase the productivity. SAP integrate various modules. So we have the integration. When I'm saying the integration means we have the linkage. So we have a linkage along various modules available in the SAP. We have finance. FI stands for finance, MM for inventory, SD for sales, and PP for production. So there are so many modules available, and the information can be linked with from one module to another module. So that can be also customized to meet the customer or client requirement. So this was a brief about the SAP. Now, why SAP is preferred over the other ERPs we have available in the market? So first of all, increased efficiency. So with this, we can automate our processes. So as I just shared with you, so in any of the company, you will see there are so many departments. In these department, we have the processes. So we can automate those processes. When we are going to automate those processes, so it will reduce the repetitive task, which is going to save the business time and money. Then with this, we will be able to have the improved decision making. So because we have the real time data in SAP, which will help us or which will help the management to take the quick decisions. It provides the data on the different areas. So we have the real time data on our sales, finance, inventory, and it will help management to understand the trends, and also it will help us to identify the area of improvement where the improvement is required, so management can work on that. With this, we will be able to increase the visibility, we can enhance the visibility. So with the SAP, companies can monitor, because we will have the real time data, we will have the access on the inventory control. Inventory means material, how much material we need to order, we need to, when we need to reorder. So this kind of information we will be able to have in the SAP. Then we will also get the information related to the customer order, supplier performance, so which will help us to enhance the visibility. Standardization. So in any of the company, you will have these departments. So we'll have the production department in any of the like mostly in the manufacturing company, you will have the production department. You can also see the finance department, material department, then sales department, marketing department. So there are so many functional areas we have, and in these functional area, as I just shared with you, we follow the processes, we also call them SOPs. So here what SAP provides, so SAP provide the standard processes across various business departments, which will help the company to align their operations with SAP best practices. So SAP provides a single software, and this single software SAP provides to the multiple companies. So how a single software can fulfill the requirement for the different companies, because it provides the standard process. It provides the solution for the standard process. So in any of the company, if let's say that is a manufacturing company, so obviously they are going to procure the material, and for that we have in the SAP a standard process called procurement to pay, and for the sales we have a standard process called order to cash. So SAP provides a standard solution for these kind of processes which we normally follow in the company, and we call these processes provided by the SAP as best practices. SAP best practices. So these are the processes provided by the company, by the SAP, and these are predefined. So these practices processes have been laid out, or these are been designed by SAP over after doing so many implementation in the different types of companies. Obviously, SAP is going to reduce our cost, so that is also the reason to set up this ERP over the other ERPs available in the market. So with the automation, with streamlining of business processes, SAP is going to reduce your cost, reduce the company's cost, and provide the area where cost cutting measures can be taken. So here for this course, who can join? So all the IT developers, tester, business analyst, data analyst, project manager, data scientist, any graduate, postgraduate who is having the BTech or MCA. If anybody is from the accounting or the finance background, so that would be good, but it is not mandatory for the FICO module. As I just shared with you multiple times, so we have in any of the company functional areas. These functional areas could be your finance, inventory. Inventory we also call it as purchase. Then sales, we have cost control, production, human resource, plant maintenance, warehousing. So for these functional areas, SAP has provided us the module. So like for finance, we have a module available in the SAP called SAP FI. For purchase, it is SAP MM. MM stands for material management. For sales and distribution, we have SAP S&D. Then for the cost controlling, we have SAP CO. For production, it is SAP PP. PP stands for production planning, and for human resource or HR, we have SAP HR. Then for the plant maintenance, we have SAP PM, and for the warehousing, we have SAP WM or Extended Warehouse Management. So if these are the only modules available in the SAP, no, there are so many modules for the different functional areas. But these are the major one which we can see in any of the company, especially in the manufacturing company. And here we will also see the different, or I would say, functional and technical module. So here you can just see all these are the functional module. And what do you mean by the functional module? So you can just see, right, start from the finance till the warehousing. So all these modules are provided by the SAP or are the functional module. When I'm saying that functional module, it doesn't, all these modules don't require any coding skill or programming skill. And if somebody has that skill, so coding or programming skill, then for that we have the SAP ABAP. ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming, and this is a technical module. When I'm saying technical, so for that we need the coding, we need a programming. So what is, why it is why like this coding or programming is required? Because this software is written, or I would say whenever we are working in on this software, so in the background we use the program, and for that program we write a code. So if and that right and that code is already written by the SAP, and that code is written for the standard process. So if client is looking for some customization, so we need to provide a custom solution. In order to do that, what we need to do, we need to make the changes in the existing code. So that is the reason we will have the wrapper in the, I would say, in the project, who is going to change the code and who is going to give the logic to that wrapper. So functional people will give the logic to the wrapper. So for example, if some we need to make some custom solution, we need to provide the custom solution with respect to finance area. So being a functional consultant, being a FI consultant, will give this logic to our developer, and he will accordingly make the changes in the code, and we will do the functional testing. And after that we will also showcase to our client, and with the client go ahead, we can move that to the real time system. So that is the purpose of having these two functional area, like this technical and your functional modules in the SAP. Then I just list down here some of the companies in India and outside India who are partnered with SAP. So SAP alone can't cater to a long list of companies or customers. So for this, SAP has made different SAP has made the business partner. So these are the companies who can provide SAP solution, who can provide the SAP solution on the behalf of SAP. So we have Deloitte, Accenture, PwC, Capgemini. Then we have HCL, TCS. So all these IT companies provide the SAP solution on the behalf of SAP. Why? Because these are partnered with SAP. We call them business partner. Like some are the gold partner, some are the silver partner. So all these big companies are not the silver but the gold partner. Then there are different types of project we come across. We see in the SAP. So we have the implementation project, we have the rollout project, and we have the support project. So what do you mean by the implementation project? So if in any of the company, SAP is going to be implemented for the first time. Before that, they were not using this SAP as a ERP. They were using some other ERP, like they were using the QuickBooks. Now, if the management had decided that to go away with the QuickBooks and use a new software called SAP, so what would be the kind of project it is? It is going to be your implementation project, because we are going to replace it. So SAP is going to be implemented for the first time in that company. Then we have the rollout project. So if in any of the company SAP is already there, so SAP's presence is there, but due to some takeover, due to some acquisition or the merger, so the new company or the new legal entity doesn't have that SAP software. So that kind of project we call it as a rollout project. In this, we are going to give the, I would say, solution. So we have already the SAP templates available. So we are going to use those template in the new company. Then the third type of project we have, it is the support project. So in this type of project, we have already SAP, like client is already using the SAP. They are they are meeting their day-to-day business requirement with this software. But you know that nowadays business has become very competitive, and to match with the prices available in the market, to match with the competitor, to make the product, I would say, cost effective and best product in the market. So they need to change with the market. They need to make the changes with their process. They should be ready to make the changes in their business processes. So if they are going to make the changes in the business processes, obviously because they are using this software, they are using this software as a ERP. So they need to also make the changes in the ERP, because all their processes they are having in this software only, ERP only, and or we can say that SAP only. So if in order to make the changes in this software, so obviously we need the people who know, who are the functional consultant or the technical consultant, who are going to make this change, because business people will not be able to do it. So for that they hire the SAP team, they who can get this thing done. And also when this SAP, we have a support project, so for their day-to-day business, I would say activities, day-to-day business activities. So if they come across any kind of error or any kind of technical issue, if they come across, then that technical issue will be fixed by the SAP consultant, and this is done under the support project. So these are the kind of projects we have. Then we follow a methodology in SAP called ASAP methodology. ASAP stands for Accelerated SAP Methodology. This is used to get SAP implemented in any of the company, and it is a kind of roadmap given by the SAP only. So it will help us to get the implementation done in a I would say easy manner, or to streamline the processes. So first, in this roadmap, when we are going to do the implementation, so first step is SAP says that there should be a project preparation. So SAP says that you should be clear about the scope of the process, what you need to do in the SAP software, that you should get the clarity. If you don't have that clarity, then ask your client what they want. So here, first of all, we need to sit with the client, and we need to understand their process and which process they want to be part of the SAP, so that we need to write under the scope. So for example, they have 50 legal entities, and management has decided that only 10 legal entities would be part of this SAP implementation. Then our scope of work will be for those 10 companies. So we need to know about those 10 companies which are going to be part of the SAP. We should not concentrate on the remaining company, 30 company which are not or 40 company which are not going to be part of it. So our focus should be only on those 10 legal entities. And also in that 10 legal entities, what I would say functional areas would be part of the SAP, so that we need to write it under the scope. So this is a kind of documentation work. Then after that again is second step, that is related to the documentation only. So it is called business blueprints. Under this business blueprint, what we do a analysis, and that or we follow a approach. So that approach is as is and to be approach. So what is the as is and to be approach? So under the business blueprint, we will see what are their current processes are, and how they are going to follow those processes in their existing ERP. And after the implementation, so how those processes are going to be carried out in the SAP software. So current state of the processes, and if any change is going to be happen in the future state of process. So that we need to document under the business blueprint documents. So if we are going to follow the same steps of processes, that is going to be your as is. Okay, if there would be any of the change in that process, then we need to document. Then after that we need to work on the system, and for that we have the next step called realization. So we'll start the configuration, we'll start creating the data, and there are three types of data we will start to do any kind of testing. So we'll be having the configuration data, we'll be having the master data, and we will be having the transaction data. So in order to get these type of data, we will be able to complete our testing. And there are so many types of testing we will carry out. And once we will get a go ahead from the client, then we will be able to move the data from one system to another system. Why there are so many systems? We call them client. We call them client because I would say in a very simple language, we'll have a fair book and we have a rough book. So first of all, we will write those processes in the rough book, and if we will see those processes are working fine, then we will I would say move those processes from our rough book to fair book. So here also we will follow the same thing with the SAP R3 architecture. So what is that we are going to see in the next slide. Then once this realization is completed, we will go with the final project preparation where we'll be carrying out the cutover activities. What do you mean by the cutover activities? So we'll have here the cutover data which we are going to manage, which we are going to move. Move from where? Move from the old ERP to new ERP. So new ERP, obviously your SAP ERP. Okay. So you have the client, and the client has been into the market for so long. They are not doing the business for last like 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year. So they've been into the market for last let's say 100 years. And if they are into the market for last 100 years, so obviously they would have the 100 years of data. So if in the SAP we need to move all the 100 years of data, answer is no. So we need to move the data, and the data would be decided by the client only. So from the client side also, they will have a finance director, they will have the inventory director or sales director. So they will decide that how many years of data they need to move from their legacy system to the new system or to the SAP system. So they can decide that okay, you what do you do? So we have the 50 years data, but you need to move because we need to have the audit also, and as per the audit we need to keep the information for last let's say 7 year or 5 year or 10 year. So you move our 7 years data from our old ERP to the new ERP. And in this data, what kind of information we normally prefer? We prefer all those transactions which are in progress. We prefer all those purchase orders, sale order which are in progress. So for example, we have the purchase order, and for that purchase order, good receipt has happened. And there is a purchase order of let's say 10,000 units of some product. Okay. You have received so far 5,000 of units, and remaining 5,000 are pending, or there is remaining quantity which is pending. So such kind of I would say transaction, you are going to move from your old system to another system to the new system so that you can complete those transactions. And also you will move the data in order to simulate them, in order to see the previous trend. So you need to have some old data also, so that if the new transactions happen, then you will be able to analyze them. Okay. So that is the purpose of having the cutover data. So once you have your old data or your config data, your master and your transaction data available, so what you will do? So you will hand over the system to the client so that they can start doing their work. And that handing over the system to the client is called go live. That is a very crucial phase where we are moving the where we will be like giving the system to the client. And under this go live, so the business user will start their day-to-day working on the SAP environment. And obviously, because they are facing some new interface, and they will be working on a new interface, if they will come across any issue, so it is related to some error or dump is coming while executing any report, while pulling out any data, while entering any data, so who they will touch base with, so they will touch base with the consultant. So consultant will fix that issue, and they will make sure that they are able to complete their business activity in the SAP environment. So this hypercare, this support is going to be for next 1 month or 2 months. So after the things get streamlined, then there would be a normal support which is going to be continued for next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, it is subject to the to the agreement we have or the contract we have with the client. Then there are two types of users we have in the SAP. So we have one called user and second is called consultant. So who is the end user and what are the roles of the end user at a very like high level? I will brief you. So end user is a person who is going to do day-to-day business activities, who is going to carry out his day-to-day business activity. It could be from finance department, from purchase department, from sales department, from HR department. So these are different functional areas where the user is doing their day-to-day business activities. So those users are called end users. End users are, in a very simple language, end users are all those users which are using the SAP software, which are using the SAP ERP. So for example, from the finance standpoint, if we are entering any data, if we are entering any accounting entry, or we are creating the document, we are creating the invoices, so those users we can call them FI user. And what other roles we have for these end users? So they need to maintain and create the different types of account. So in the SAP, we are going to see we have different types of account called general ledger account, vendor account. Vendor here means supplier who is going to supply you the goods or services. Then we'll have the customer account, we have the fixed asset account, we'll have the inventory or material account. Then what else we need to do as a finance user? So we need to also track the invoices, we need to create them, and these invoices are related to the purchase order or sale order. And also we need to pull out different as a user, we need to pull out different types of report from the SAP software for internal as well as external reporting. So as I just shared with you, we have SAP R3 architecture. So in this R3 architecture, we will be provided three clients: development, quality, production client. So if I need to deliver any solution, I can't like provide that solution, deliver that solution directly into the production system. So what do you mean by the production system? Production system is your live system, is your real system on which users are using. So that is the client system, I would say, which will have that actual business data. Actual business data means what? Actual business data means actual purchase order, sale order, customer accounts, so all those, and actual accounting entries, all those we have in this production system. So we can't touch that production system. I'm saying we can't touch means we can't work on it from the functional standpoint. Okay, so obviously we have the business users, we have the product manager, functional manager from the business who are going to work on this. So when we will come into the picture, when they come across any issue, they have some problem, then we can fix that issue. So this is the production client. But before we go to the production client, as I just shared with you, we need to work on some rough notebook. Okay, so for that we have been given the development screen, or I would say development client, and we have been given the quality client. So as a consultant, first of all, if I need to do any kind of development or any kind of a configuration I need to do, So I will go in the development client, and this development client is also known as golden client. Why? Because the configuration is available only on this client. So configuration means what? Configuration means if I need to make some changes in the standard process, so I will be able to make those changes. Why? Because for that standard process change, SAP has already provided a solution. So I will apply that standard solution in the development system. And after that, as a user, I will also do the testing. Why? Because always user will not be free. He will not be sitting with us and we will just see that okay, we have fixed this issue or we have developed this thing, then you try. No. So user will be available only for some time. So we need to take some part of him, and also we need to know like some steps which are performed by him. So for that, will with this we will be able to complete our testing, so we can make sure that okay, whatever the development we have made, that is working fine for him. So for that, what we will be doing, we will be doing the unit testing, or in a simple language we will be doing the testing. And if any end user role we have on this client called development client, answer is no. Now after the development we have the quality client. Quality client is also known as test client. Why we have this quality client? Because we can't move the data directly to the production client, we need a middle layer. So whatever the data we have in the production client, so we'll also get a like copy of that in the quality client. Why? So that we will be able to replicate the scenario, we'll be able to test it before that development reaches your production client. And for this reason, what in the company normally we do, so we have a copy, and normally once in a year, or one or twice in a year, we do the copy of production client in the quality client. Okay, so here in this quality system, we need to carry out various types of testing. What kind of testing we have? We have the unit testing, we have the system integration testing, we have the unit, or I would say user acceptance testing. Why user acceptance testing? Because this is the system, this is a client, quality client, which can also be used by the users. They can have that they can log in it, they can see the data, they can test it. And then we have the regression testing. So once we get the go ahead from the client, from the finance head, or from the HR head, or from the sales head, then we will move that development to their real system called production system. And how it is placed in the real time, I'll just show you. So for example, here this is the interface we have for the SAP. So we need to click on the login button, and then give me 1 second. You can just see here I just put various clients. Okay, so in the real time, so I just like make it here different server. Okay, so this different servers are nothing but the different client we have. So first we can take it as, this is, let's say this is the development client, then this is the quality client, and this is the production client. Okay, let's assume this is the development, quality, production. And whenever you log in, okay, as a consultant, whenever you log in, you will get the data here. You will get the real time data, and on this you will not be able to make any changes. Why? Because all the data we will be getting with the display mode. Okay, because we are consultants, we are not authorized to make any direct changes in this, so all the data will be in a display mode. And but we will be getting the real time data. Then second is your quality data. So this could be a real time data but not exact data. Why? Because it is a copy. Now we don't know that if it is a copy last 1 year or last 2 year. Okay, but we'll get a copy, and in this we can carry out our testing. Before we move the solution from our development to production system, we can test here in the quality system. Then here, this is where we are going to develop our solution. That is the reason we call it as a development system. And here, if I just log in it, so any of like any other software, you need to give some user ID password. So I will enter my user ID and password, and this is the actually, as we call it as a SAP easy SAP software. And this is not a real software, but again, it is a replica of your real software. In the real time also, you are going to see all these features, okay? And here you will get all the screen, or you will get all these buttons or options available. So this is like, there will not be any difference what you are watching here and what you are using here, and what when you are going to see in the real time. Okay, so all will be same. Now here we have that easy SAP easy access screen. This is a screen whenever you log in, this is the first screen you will get it. And this is a screen used by whom? Used by the user as well as consultant, both can use this system. Okay, so here, if I'm a user, I need to create some account. I will go to the accounting, finance accounting. In the finance accounting, we have other areas, like we have the general ledger area. We have the component called AR, AP, bank, fixed asset. So for example, if I, as a user, I want to make some document posting, okay. So I will go to the document entry. In the document entry, SAP has given us the option that you can create the document with these options, okay. So which one you want to go with, then you can accordingly decide. So for example, if I want to post with this option called FB50, so I will double click on this. It will give me a screen where I can do the GL account posting. Okay. So here we have the company code. If you want to change it, so you will be able to change it with the help of the options we have been given. So I will walk you through each and every option in detail, but just to give you a heads up, so I'm just showing you this thing. Okay. Now this is a SAP easy access screen. So somebody has asked me if we will be working as a user or as a consultant. So this is a kind of activity which will be carried out by the user. Now for example, let's assume I am a user and I am not able to post my accounting document. I am getting some error. Let's see the error. Okay, so let's say if I need to post a document, I need to create some GL here. I need to do the posting, okay, some debit credit. Here we have the debit or credit entry. Let's say amount is 1000 Canadian dollar. So you can just see the currency is coming as CAD. Now you can just see this is the issue user is facing. So it is saying that the posting period 4 is not open. This is the error user is getting. So he will definitely he will approach you. You are FI consultant. Okay. So this, if this has something to do with the finance, answer is no. This is a technical error. Okay. And for this error, so he will not he can't take the help from the finance manager or from the finance I would say finance head. So he will he will contact the IT guy. He will contact the SAP guy. Okay, SAP, within the SAP also he will contact the FI consultant. Now FI will consultant knows that okay, why this error is coming and how we can fix it. Okay, for that you need to know the functional, or you need to know the configuration information, or I would say we need to work on the configuration, and through the configuration we'll be able to fix this issue. So how to do this configuration, or how to remove this thing, or fix this error? So for that we need to go in the backend. So how we can go in the backend? So just come out of the screen. If you want to go in the backend or in the development screen, then you need to write it here in this box. This box is called, this is a command box. Okay, in this command box you need to write a command called SPRO. SPRO. SPRO stands for SAP Project Reference Object. Enter. and after that you need to click on the IMG button. IMG stands for implementation guide. With this it will take you to the development screen. It will take you to the backend screen. Okay, so this is the development screen. Now you can just see in the development screen we have again different areas. So we are not only the consultant. So along the FI consultant we have also other consultants. So for example, here you can just see we have that sales and distribution, material management, then logistics, okay, inventory. So here we have SCM, warehouse management, transportation, quality management, plant maintenance, customer service, production. So you can just see different areas are available. And in this area, if you are like consultant and you are a PP consultant, production consultant, and if any PP user is facing the issue, then where you will be able to fix it? Obviously under the production you will be able to fix it. Okay, and again in the production, if you need to make the changes in the production data or in the demand driven replacement or shop floor, so accordingly you can go into. So since it is related to finance, so here we have been given an option of finance also. You can just see financial accounting. Here you will get two like options. We have one financial accounting and second as a financial supply chain management. So both are different, but both are related to finance only. So it talks about the first one. It talks about, it has the information or it has a development related to the general ledger accounting, account payable accounting, account receivable accounting, you can just see, and then bank accounting, asset accounting. Okay, so these are part of your financial accounting. And what we have under the financial supply chain management, under the financial supply chain management, we have the dispute management, we have the credit management, collection management, liquidity, cash management, then you have the biller direct, billing consolidation, you have the BCM called bank communication management, you have the in-house cash management, you have the treasury or the risk management, okay, commodity. So all these are going to be part of your financial supply chain management. So since we are the FI consultant, we'll go into the FI, and in this FI, what we need to do, we need to fix that opening period issue, okay, because that period is not open. So where we can go? Hmm. So we can go to the financial accounting, global setting, ledger. Below the ledger, you can just see we have the option called fiscal year and posting period. Okay, and here we have a variant called 1177 only. So let's see the 1177 variant, and you can just see here we can do the posting only in the year 2022, and in the year 2022 we can do the posting from first month to till 12th period. Okay, so from January to December we can do the posting. So this is the reason when I'm going to do the posting for the year 2023 in the month of April, so system is saying that books are closed, okay, or that period is closed. So who is going to open that period? So for that, user can take the help of the FI consultant. So we were discussing this architecture. So now we have the roles of consultant. What are the roles of consultant? So he is called developer, and he is responsible to meet the business requirement, and business requirements will be given by his client. So following are the roles and responsibility of a consultant. So first of all, he has to listen to the client. So he has to listen to the problem or the requirement of the client, what problem or what challenges they are coming across, and how he would be able to address or overcome or reduce those challenges. He would be able to meet the client requirement with that, with the new automation provided by the SAP, and that automation he would be able to provide if he knows about the SAP. Okay, now, here it is saying that the consultant needs to get the requirement or gather the requirement from the client. Then understand their process, because without the understanding of their process, so he will not be able to offer the best solution. So we need to listen to the client and we need to know their process, what is their current process, and what SAP suggests, what SAP provides, or I would say what solution SAP has provided under the standard. So here actually client processes, we also call them SOPs. SOP is nothing but the standard oriented process, and how that process can be done efficiently in the SAP ERP software, so that we like take the reference by the SAP best practices. Okay. So what we are going to do after gathering the requirement from the client, we will be matching that process with the process provided by the SAP called best practice. So it is called the mapping thing or mapping activity. We'll be doing the mapping of client business process with the SAP standard process. And after that, if we'll come across some kind of a gap, because here this is the area or this is the stage where we will be working on the fit and gap analysis. What do you mean by the fit and gap analysis? So fit means all those processes for which SAP has provided the solution, so that is under the fit. And gap means all those some of the processes for which SAP has not provided the standard solution. Client is looking for the customized solution. So in order to do the customization, so we need to work on the functional specification or technical specification document. So technical specification document obviously created by the technical consultant, and functional specification document will be created by obviously by the functional consultant. So functional consultant, once again, he would be your FI consultant, PPSD, or any other functional consultant. Then after that we will do the configuration, and we will be creating the data. So we'll configure, customize the SAP application, and so that it could fulfill the client requirement. Then we will do the testing, and if the testing results are fine, then we will move the development to the production system. And after that, we'll make sure that the result which we were getting in the quality system or the development system, the same result we will be getting or the client is getting in the production system. So there should be a consistency of result what we are getting from the quality system and production system. So there should be a consistency in order to get the better results. So what should be a team composition for a SAP project? So if I talk about from the IT side, so from the IT side, because we call it as a core team. So core team means it's a mix of both from IT and from the business also. So from the IT side, we'll be having the delivery head, and under the delivery head we'll be having the delivery manager. Then we have the project manager. Then we will have the solution or process architect. So this solution architect could be a functional consultant. Okay. And functional consultant, so you can have your solution architect, finance solution architect, we have solution architect, we have the solution architect for SD. Okay, so these are the functional areas, and for that we have the functional consultant who can play a role of solution architect. Then also we have the other roles, so like we have the lead consultant, we have the senior consultant, we have the junior consultant, associate consultant. So all these consultant could be from both the areas, functional area as well as technical area. Okay, so you can have your ABAPer, so that can be your lead consultant. Your FI person could be your lead consultant. So these are the lead consultant, junior consultant, or senior consultant. Okay, so this is the side we have from the IT side. Okay, then we have the team from the client side. So that team would be led by your IT manager, and this IT manager would be at a director position. We call him business application because this is application, and he's going to manage it from the business side. And below him, he will have the process manager. He will have the process owner, functional consultant, not functional consultant, sorry, functional manager, product manager. So both of these two will become your SAP core team.